We are officially into prep, and I am sorry I look like shit because I just woke up. And there's fucking airplanes about to come by because I live by an airport. Apologize for that, everybody. So I woke up, and then a fucking airplane hit. And it's fucking gone. That is annoying as shit. It happens every 5 minutes around here. You know, you think you'd adjust to the noise, but I've been living over here for my entire life. And this weird thing I do, actually. So if an airplane comes by and it's a little loud, I have to cover one of my ears. If an airplane comes by and it's really loud, I have to cover both of my ears and stop walking. Probably because I'm autistic. So I woke up this morning. I took 100 milligrams of caffeine, 5 grams of yohimbine hydrochloride, 3 grams of tyrosine, 2 grams of carnitine, 150 micrograms of T4, and 2 grams of GH. That is the extent. Sorry, I'm at a traffic light right now. That is the extent of my pre-fasted cardio stack. So the goal with all of that is to try and reap as many benefits as we can while I don't have any fucking food in my stomach. I know people say the benefits of fasted cardio are equal to doing cardio when you're satiated and have food in your system. Damn, my teeth are fucking yellow because of that shit I drank. I disagree. 100% disagree. I disagree with you, Lane Norton. No, I mean, he's right. He's probably right, but I just think there's something to it. I think your physique looks more crisp. I think maybe it might have to do with the fact that while you're sweating while doing this shit and you don't have anything in your stomach, you're probably more likely to get a little bit more dehydrated. I think that could be a factor why the look appears different. But I mean, you definitely feel it different. I mean, now here's the nice part about it. I think it's a great way to start your morning. And people are like, oh, fuck that, I have to wake up. Well, you have to wake up for work and all that shit. But if you could get yourself in a habit of doing this, because I'm just beating this shit into the ground for everyone, and I always fucking will. No one starts out fucking psyched to do this shit every day. Even I woke up today, and I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta get moving. Because I'm sore. But I enjoy this in the morning because it clears my head. It gets me ready to start my day. It wakes me up. When you ingrain this stuff and it becomes a part of your day, it becomes so much easier to do because it's just what you do every day, right? And I understand that all that seems simplistic, just saying, well, it's part of your daily life, so it just is. Well, I mean, it's really hard to have a better way to say it. I mean, what you're doing is you're just disciplining yourself into creating something that just becomes seamlessly part of whatever your activities are every day. So, I mean, it becomes no more different than you having breakfast. It becomes no more different than you eating dinner. Sorry, I got food on my mind because I'm hungry. But yeah, I mean, hopefully people see what I mean by that. And most things are not fun at first. They're challenging. You don't really have a good connection to what you're doing right away, but it's something. But you pick things that you can perceive to be enjoyable and rewarding over time. I think weightlifting, I think everyone could have a benefit out of it, whether you choose to power lift, bodybuild, do strongman, or neither. Maybe you're just doing it because you want to be healthier. It's the one thing where the amount of effort you put in always directly results in the reward you get back. So you you go 3 days a week and you do a strength routine, you're going to have noob games. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be like every time you step under a bar to do a particular lift, you're able to add 20 pounds, and that'll taper off. And then the progress will slow a little bit. And maybe you'll get more determined, or you're addicted to the fact that you keep bettering yourself. Well, now you're going to go in 4 days a week. That could turn into 5 days a week. And you have a more complex structure to your training to prioritize things that you either hired someone or you yourself have noticed that you need to work on over time to better yourself with whatever activity it may be. Could be an overhead press, could be a bench press, maybe you like squatting, could be really anything. But you get focused on these patterns over time, and the reward out of it is you get stronger, you get more muscular, and that's how it pays off. I'm walking through this park and people are just like looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? I'll tell you who I am. I'm someone who may bomb a bodybuilding show in a few months. So I think this week was actually a really good instance and an example of me just not wanting to do shit. I was extremely sore. I think it was the night before back day, which is one of the hardest days of the week next to legs. I got like 5 hours of sleep. I just couldn't stay asleep. I felt fucking shitty. And I got home. I used some pre-workout, yes. I think that was an appropriate time to utilize it. And instead of skipping, which would have been very convenient, I went anyway. And not only did I do that, I actually hit some personal bests on some of the movements I had to do, which was spectacular. Usually when you have days like that where you're dog shit tired and you're lacking internal motivation for that particular day, which you got to remember, motivation is ever fleeting, and it's just a bullshit way to go about things. When you discipline yourself, you will always get things done. If you only do things when you're motivated, you will never accomplish shit. You just won't. And that goes with any endeavor in life. I don't care if it's lifting or maybe you like painting. Well, you just have to get in and put in the reps. You're not going to get better at something if you don't have structure to it. So I felt particularly shitty this week. I really need, honestly, I'll be honest with all of you right now. I could really improve sleep time and quality, and that would benefit my recovery more, especially now I'm lifting 6 days a week. There's nothing inherently wrong with 6 day a week lifting. I did it for many years of my life. The thing I noticed with myself, and I think this holds true for most people, when you're lifting 6 days a week, the problem is over time, you're gonna start getting fucking injured more. You have 1 day of downtime a week where your body's not having to stress itself out in one way or another. I think 5 days a week is the golden number. But you have to hire someone that you trust as well. The coach I hired to help me improve and potentially win this first show of mine, I trust that guy down to the fucking molecule. He has a shit ton of clients, a gigantic resume. He was a 212 pro himself. He just knows what he's doing, and all of his guys come in fucking peeled. So that's how you know he's not going to accept mediocrity and let you just go up there looking like shit, because that's his name under you when you hire him. And that's how you know it's indicative of a good coach. Because, I paid this guy a lot of money to get hired, and we had a conversation. 90 to 95% of it was not about the money. He didn't even want the money if I wasn't going to come in there with an attitude to bust my fucking ass. And that's how you know it's a really good person to work with, because they care more about your ability and internal drive to succeed more than whatever you're gonna pay them. because it's a waste of time for them to put in all that effort into you if you're not going to succeed. So I'm lifting 6 days a week, busted my fucking hump in there. Honestly, the part that's hardest is I squat Monday, I fucking deadlift Wednesday, and I train legs again Thursday. So like that short time frame, I've had like one time so far where I went into the next leg day without my legs being fucking sore. So my sleep time and quality could 100% improve. That is one of the 3 big factors. Fucking airplanes, man. Holy shit. Southwest, I can see it. It's south. That's how close the airport is. I can see the Southwest plane. So people always want to argue which one of these factors has the biggest percentage of benefit to you, and it's just fucking asinine. It's training, eating, and sleeping. Those are the 3 things that you need to tee off on to be successful in recompositioning your body, doing better in the gym, improving your life, making gains. And people argue like, oh, well, I think it's 70% diet, 30% training. Well, if you take any one of those things out of the equation, you just fucking suck. You suck and you're not going to improve. Or maybe you will improve a minuscule amount if you are new, but that's going to taper off so fast it's going to be embarrassing. Like 10 more minutes of this shit. So sorry everybody. And I think the one you could probably play a little bit of wiggle room with would be the sleep, but that's in the regard of maybe, let's say, one night a week you get like 6 hours. I'll 100% tell you right now, you will not be as good as you could be if you can get 8 to 9 hours every single fucking night. And this is typically an argument that I get in with people, and it gets to the point where like I want to ask them if they're stupid, because their response is entirely based on how they psychologically feel, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cellular repair. I don't give a shit if you feel more rested off of 5 hours of sleep. It's not optimal. You're not maximizing your potential to exceed in the gym. And we're talking about ideal here. So I can present that argument and then people still respond, well, I feel better off at 5. It's like, okay, well, I'm not fucking talking about how you feel. I'm talking about what's better. You don't just suddenly repair the best at a cellular level because you feel okay off of 5 hours of sleep. No, you get those extra 3 to 4 hours. Your body's repairing at the best rate it can. And if I was getting 9 hours of sleep every single night, I think I'd be coasting into every workout a bit better. But, and I will say the issue has to do with me being a little selfish. Selfish in the regard that I want at least an hour to wind down and watch TV every day. And that tends to be on the back end of the day because I work early. Well, I mean, it's not 6 a.m. early, but I go into work at 10 a.m. I get off, it could be 6:30, could be 7:30, sometimes 8 o'clock. Get off, go straight to the gym. Between commute, warm-up time, and getting the actual workout done, plus the cardio on the end, I'm finishing, if I really bust my ass and get there quick, finishing at like 10:30, 11 at night. And I could go home, I could shower right away, could jump straight into bed, but I'm a little selfish. I want an hour to wind down. So I end up going to sleep closer to 1 a.m. And then I get 7 hours of sleep on work days, which is not optimal, but it's not terrible. And I do that, and then my days off of work, I'm usually sleeping around 8 to 9 hours. But I will say a hard fact is you can't make up for sleep. You just physically can't. And this is coming from someone who had a really bad stimulant addiction in my early 20s. And yes, I mean hard drugs. You know, you can't stay up for 2 days and then think because you sleep for a whole day that makes up for it. You can't, it doesn't work like that. Your brain's not gonna flush all the junk in it because you got a day of sleep and completely fucked your body for 48 hours. It's not gonna ever work like that. It's a continuous process. It's like, I mean, just think about it like it's a clock and the 60 seconds go by. Like, you can't pass up a portion of time on the clock in a minute and then get it back. It's just not going to work like that. It depends on how you utilize your time as it's coming. And I wish people would stop being so self-serving with their thoughts and just recognize that. And it's not to beat yourself up. We all fuck up here and there. But when you're more cognizant and you're more conscious of the inner workings of what you need to do to succeed, it becomes a lot more fluent, and it flows with what you need to do. Passing a busy street here, let's hope no one fucking hits me. So I know after all that, your question is, why are you walking without a shirt on? I had the same question myself. Actually, I'm walking without a shirt on because I'm making a very feeble attempt at getting a little bit of a tan. I have a long time, 19 weeks. It's gonna tread into winter by the end. But my goal, also crossing the street again, sorry. My goal is to attempt to get a little bit tan before I have to put coats of spray tan on myself for the show. Because if I can get as dark as I possibly can, which I will use some melanotan too by the end, then I'll have to put less coats of paint it is basically paint. I have to put less coats of tanner on me. And when you think about it, it's like putting a shit ton of coats of paint on a wall. Like, I want as little coats on me as possible because I'm gonna be bone fucking dry. It's just gonna be muscle tissue and my skin sitting above it. I don't want lots of coats of stuff because it's gonna wash out whatever detail I have on my body. And I'm about to bust my ass I know I just started prep now, but the dieting has gotten semi-restrictive over the past 5.5 weeks. So this is like a 24-week process. This is almost half a year of me busting my fucking ass to come in shape. Why would I ruin it over something like putting tan on myself in a fucking moment? It's not worth it. That's why I'm doing that. So the diet's a little bit more restrictive now. It's not terrible. And I'm utilizing daily walks right now. But once the cardio, I would say, gets to about the 35-minute mark in the morning, I'm just gonna jump on fucking cardio equipment in the gym. I think it's necessary at that point because I may change this opinion later in time because it's important to grow and not think the same shit. But I mean, currently my view of things is that it's gonna be pretty fucking hard to get peeled just speed walking around. Reason I'm not running is the impact of that and the intensity of even jogging around. It's gonna fucking wipe my legs out. My legs are gonna downsize and it's not gonna look proportionate. It's gonna look fucking terrible. That's why you see bodybuilders really utilize incline treadmill. And the reason most of them like a stair mill, which I didn't at first, but as I did it more, again, discipline, it became easier to deal with. But a stair mill gets your heart rate up into the targeted zone you're trying to hit the fastest way possible. You're just climbing fucking stairs. Fucking airplanes, bro. So that's the rationale behind that. What if I just started yelling more and more as the plane went by? But I just don't see myself being able to get peeled speed walking around the neighborhood. And yeah, the heart rate's in a zone right now where I can hold a conversation. It's never gonna get to a point where we're doing like a full-on sprint. But I think, you know, like doing a hard resistance bike or a decently fast speed incline treadmill, it's gonna be pretty hard to talk to people. However, making this video right now is actually pretty distracting from the time that's passing. So that's pretty sweet. I guess I'm gonna wrap up my morning here. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. I am Jeff. I am prepping for a show and I'm trying to get ripped.